What's the first thing when you think about Apple? iCloud, iMessages, the ecosystem, even your Apple Watch. But that's part of what we're talking about today. Today, we have a new player, and that player is an Android in their evolving ecosystem. And the main things that is evolving is RCS. Let's talk about it. All right, welcome back, listeners, people on YouTube that's watching. If you want to follow it on YouTube, it's JACANTICS. But we're not just here for the shameless plugs. We here for the content. And the content today is we're talking about RCS, the new evolving ecosystem for Android. And RCS is basically supposed to work like iMessages. And today we brought our iPhone specialist out here.
Oh yeah, iPhones all the way.
Yeah, I dabble in iPhones, but you stay with the iPhone every day, all day.
Yeah, that's my primary go-to phone right there. Is Apple, anything Apple. But I do have an Android phone that I use secondary. But yeah, Apple is the ecosystem is way better right now.
Yeah, I like Apple. Even though I do like play around, I really do like Apple because their ecosystem is very seamless, and they do have a great business model. But we're not just giving Apple praise today. We're talking about RCS, and RCS stands for Rich Communication Services, and this is pretty big news for the Android community because we've been using SMS and MMS since the early 2000s. So that's why part of the reason why when you send messages from Apple to Android's devices, why the video is so compressed, because it's all about 100 characters. We went from just typing in like 100 characters and it will do the long, like 2 messages, to where it do MMS, which is multimedia.
Right. That's when you can throw in something a little bit larger, maybe a picture.
Right.
And then if you have something with a lot of text, it can be held in that.
Stretched out, because SMS stands for short message services. And that's why you had you couldn't text beyond these certain amount of characters and it will make it a longer message. But when MMS came out, that was the early 2000s, and once that came, that was the new wave of things, and you can add pictures, like you said, pictures and everything like that. But Apple changed the game, because that's when early 2000s when Apple came out, they had the green bubbles, everybody using SMS and MMS. But Apple had a great business model, as I said, and they created their own infrastructure, which is iMessages. And to set themselves apart, they added blue bubbles, and it's all in the coding. Why they added blue bubbles, and iMessages can make groups, and I can understand people be irritated when they have to add that one friend that has an Android,
and that change up the whole entire flow of the message thread if everybody's all out using iPhones, and then you got this one person that's an Android. So it seems like it has to transition back to how we used to use SMS and MMS, because I know it will pixelate the pictures,
right?
And then the threads would be a little bit. But you just couldn't share normal stuff like you normally do.
Right, and then you have the emotes and everything like that. Like people can like your messages, and even when it's kind of tragic that somebody from iPhone will like somebody's message from an Android device, but on the Android's end, it don't come up as an emote. It comes up as another text message.
Right.
This person liked your message.
Correct. That's exactly how it is. Or even if it's a dislike or a laughing emoji.
Or emphasize or everything.
Anything, yeah. It come up as an actual text and not a physical, just a visual animation. So yeah. But Apple tried to change the game, and now Android is trying to introduce RCS to kind of do the same thing for their ecosystem on their side, or just trying to just not to just separate the two, but create something for their family as well. So I think it's gonna be cool. What if they actually create like better emojis? You got games that all Android people can do that's connected with each other, or even say like video chat, like besides Google Duo. It'd be something else that's inside of that Samsung create for everybody or something like that.
But you know what's crazy? They did try that before Google Duo. That's where it was like Google Meets.
Yeah.
And they had something else before that, but I think they had Google Messages. It was like a green bubble and stuff. But they even had that. Like they tried this before. And it just kind of flopped over. And they wasn't really that successful with it. So, even like you said, Google Duo, it doesn't do as much as FaceTime. Everybody's like, oh, even I call it. It's like, hey, let me FaceTime you.
Right.
And I'm talking about Google Duo.
You talking about Google Duo, yeah. So you got caught onto the lingo as well.
Right.
So of the Apple side. So, but yeah, basically mean the same thing. I got family members that do that too. They do the same thing.
Let me
FaceTime you. Let me FaceTime you. See, don't you mean Duo? Because you got Android. Same thing.
Same thing. It's the same exact thing.
Yeah.
But the issue right now is if Android is trying to introduce this new communication system, and the benefits of this is, one, is not compressing it with multimedia because the characters and everything has gotten so large. Because if you ever realize, if people, since we're technical guys, we know about apps like WhatsApp.
Yep.
We know about apps like Facebook Messenger. Even on Instagram, you can send videos higher quality and higher resolution
through those. Because aren't they taking advantage of the internet?
Right.
They're using the internet on those actual devices to send those larger bit files.
Right. And that's what iMessage is, really. That's how they can send updates to your iMessages with the different emojis and all that stuff. Right. They can drop another emoji pack because it's over the internet. It's not using your cell data. Because that's what the default application that you have. Like if Android people look at their phone right now, they have something called Messages. And that automatically uses SMS and MMS. So
it's actually so when you say it's actually Messenger is using your actual texting or your call,
it's the default thing through your service
provider. Through your service provider, not the actual physical internet itself. So
I think that's kind of like a first world problem because I think a lot of people across the world use different apps. Multiple
apps, yeah. Because some people use Facebook Messenger. Some people use WhatsApp. Some people use...
Right.
You can say iMessage. Some people use Messenger. I think it's multiple out there that you can actually use to communicate with your family.
Yeah, but most people in the States just...
Stay with the default.
Or they don't have to change nothing. They just like, oh, I like this. But I don't believe that Apple is going to include that into their ecosystem.
Nope.
And why you think not?
Because they're not a company that follows I say they're a company that don't follow immediately. What they will do is wait 15 years and then come out with after like the bumps and stuff like that everybody have been messing up with the application, and then they'll come out and be like, hey, we got something new that y'all haven't seen before. Shoot, we already using iMessage, but we got something new we're gonna incorporate together, RCS. And we allowing better FaceTime, better emojis and games and all this stuff like that. Because they don't allow Samsung to mess up. They allow LG to go on and go bankrupt and never come back up again. And all these other Android companies to hiccup the whole time, and then they just pick up the pieces and make a better product. That's how I see it.
But Samsung and Google is not going to hiccup, especially like the way. Across the globe, globally, I don't think so.
I be thinking any company is something that's kind of new to the scene, you always gonna have updates on it, and all the update is a cleanup of your previous accident. That's all it is. So it's going to be multiple of those, and I'm thinking that Apple is just going to let at least 15 to 20 of those updates come across RCS's platform, and they're going to just sit back and watch and be like, yeah, they did a good job, but I got something that's going to make it a little bit better.
Because what's Apple's motto?
Shoot, I don't know. Shoot, what is it?
They don't. Oh, let me get this right.
I
want to get this.
We are the best or something like that.
No, it is definitely not. We are the best. They don't. What? I think I'm messing this up, but it's in. I'm going to paraphrase it because it's not direct.
Or think different. That's their motto.
Think different, but they. Oh, you looked it up.
You're real quick.
Okay, but nah, I thought it was something about they don't, they innovate. They don't invent stuff. They innovate it.
Yeah, it's a Apple think different. The tagline it says here to the crazy ones, think different.
Where did I get they innovate from?
It probably was in one of their like press conference when they're coming out with a new product. They probably always use innovation or something like that.
Because it's like they not making something new. It's just they innovate was
already there. Yeah. And then technically, if you look at it, nothing's being invented for real. Not anymore. Everything's like cycling itself over and over again.
Right.
So with RCS, if you had to choose a specific company on the Android side, who you think would take it first and use it for their platform the best?
Google.
Why?
Because it's coming to Google first, and then they gonna have they have to figure out what's all going to be the hiccups and everything like that.
Okay.
And plus, Google is they got money for that.
Yeah, they got money to figure out these different iterations or different things that they can use to make it better for them. So yeah, you're right. Google do have they got the upper hand. I was thinking Samsung for real.
Really?
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe if they come out with a new line of foldable phones, they'll figure out some way how to incorporate RCS to stream something bigger and better with that platform. That's how I don't know what they're gonna use. I don't know what can be created, but I'm thinking they have a more innovative brand, or they can do a lot more. But I forgot about Google.
Well, the only reason I say Google because Google is a software company.
Yeah.
And Google, even though they're not that far into the game of phones, they still ahead. Because Google was originally, HTC, because Google made the software, but they dished it out to another company and make the hardware. So Google been in the phone game for a pretty long time. They had HTC and they had something else. But once that, phased out, Google made their own phone. But they've been in the software business for phones for a long time.
Long time. Yeah.
So with software, I can believe that they can get it together.
Mm-hmm.
But is Apple going to incorporate it? Most likely not.
No.
Unless they're being forced by somebody higher up than them.
You're right. Well, who was higher than them?
Probably since it's basically going to be on the default when you get your cell phone. Pro,
yeah.
you know, it'll have to be from the cell phone companies itself, but that can probably backfire.
Backfire a lot, yeah. Yeah, I see Apple, if they add it, it's going to be some years from now. Yes, it's available, it's a new technology, but we have a structure and it hasn't broke on us yet, so we're not trying to fix it. So our customers aren't satisfied. I mean, dissatisfied. We're kind of happy.
But then it plays onto the part that, like I said, we look at tech all day. We know what's going on, but for the average consumer, especially like younger viewers,
they don't know. Yeah, they don't know what's going on.
They gonna be like, "Oh, you got an Android?
Yeah,
nah.
I ain't messing with you."
But it does the exact same thing.
Correct.
But on the outside looking in perspective, it making it seem like, oh, iPhone is still the best,
right?
Because I can't send certain things to you. And when I send certain things to you, you think it's my phone.
Right.
When no, it's something in the software.
Right. It's something in the software that's lowering the size of my file that I'm sending you so that you can actually receive it. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they don't. Technically, they are not going to understand that part. They just see it's not working. And that's it.
And they was like, oh, every time I send to this person with this Android phone, it's horrible.
It's horrible, right? Yeah, you got a point. Because my strategy is anytime I got to send y'all something, like say if we do like a review or something like that, and I take a shot with my phone, a picture with my phone on my iPhone, and I got to send it to you, I email it to you.
Yeah.
Or I Facebook message it to you.
Right.
Instead of sending it straight through. So some kids may not be wanting to do that because that's going the extra mile just to get something done. So
exactly. So it plays right back into Apple's hands, which is smart business wise. That's smart.
You know what? I take it back because they may be on the connection wave now. Because what was the reason for them to introduce FaceTime with Android users? Because now you can FaceTime on your phone.
Yeah, you have to send me a link.
I got to send you a link though. But now, if they already doing something to bridge the gap between both of those platforms, why wouldn't they add this to their arsenal as well? They should. It'll just bump up their brand a little bit more. It's like, oh yeah, now y'all can come on over here and see what you've been missing for these years. So
I get it. Yeah, definitely can. Especially since they started sending that. But it's in a way that, I'm benefiting because I can send FaceTime to you. But you can't. But you got to click a link.
Right.
And some people are going to get tired of clicking that link just to FaceTime you.
Just to get on, might as well just duo you, and we call it a day.
People ain't going to want to download Duo. They're going to be like, it's like, I might as well get an iPhone. I'm tired of them sending me a link.
Yes, I get where you come from. It's going to benefit them. Yeah, they might as well just go and switch over the whole brand. Switch over to a whole new device to make it easier. So, yeah.
To, like, cut out that middleman to, like, send the link here. And then it's like, okay, I got to click this link just to do that.
Just to do that, right. But they may, Apple, I believe Apple going to come out with something. It's
gonna take a couple years.
It's just gonna take a couple years.
But by that time, they might implement it. But then they gonna try to, like I said, innovate it.
Right.
What Google just did.
Right.
Or Android just did.
Right.
And try to make it better.
Right. Because I was just gonna say, when did MMS come out?
I'm not sure the specific date or the specific year.
Because SMS was like first developed in 1984. MMS was 2002.
So just think about that.
I'm thinking like in 2002, our phones were kind of like
They
weren't good, and once we
when
had
was the first iPhone invented though?
the first iPhone was ever invented. Ooh, iPhone. But yeah, first generation. It was 2007.
2007.
So the first iPhone was 2007. So if MMS came out in 2002, 5 years later they came out with an iPhone that could utilize this platform. And then once we got to college, around 2011,
Yeah.
that's when the iPhone 5, iPhone 6 was like starting to come up, but we didn't have games on our phone that we could play with each other. We were still just basically messaging.
But that's when they introduced iMessage.
iMessage, right? But we didn't have emojis.
No.
We didn't have games. We didn't have like Game Pigeon or apps that we could play in the message bubble though. So, so I was thinking like since it took about 5 years for the phones to get better, and MMS was like what did you just say about 8 years since MMS was created. So our RCS being created right now, so maybe 8 years from now, eight different iPhones will be created, and then they'll come out with something to perfect that specific
RCS.
software. Yep.
Yeah, so it's like they're gonna let, and that's the thing about that, which is like that. Like I said at the beginning, iPhones, they smart with their business.
They smart with their business. Yeah.
Morally, might be it's bad, but
Yeah.
but business wise, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because I would say that a lot of the stuff Android invented, pretty much all this stuff, it just Apple makes it better.
They just polish it. That's all.
Right. They just make it squeaky clean.
Yeah.
And make it seem like, oh, we did this.
We did this.
No.
We started this.
No, you did not.
No, y'all just made it. Y'all just came in on the back end and made it a little bit better. So yeah. So dog. So overall, do you think RCS is going to be a decent? It's going to be a decent new software or a decent new technology that's going to actually provide some type of benefit for the world.
Most definitely, especially for the Androids, this is like a big deal. And when they start incorporating with more Androids and they perfect it, it'll definitely be. It's like, okay, we can do the same thing as you, but the whole thing, like I said, just trying to get it to work with Apple.
Right. Yeah.
So what about you? What you thinking?
Yeah, it's gonna unlock a lot of new things. Cause I can't wait until we figure out something about the metaverse. That's another topic we're gonna talk about later too. How we can.
Yeah, there's another topic because
you
already know how I feel about that, man.
Yeah, man. Well, we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it next time.
And the audience, tell us what y'all think about this as well. Put something in the comments. Give us your honest opinion about RCS. Let us know if we gave y'all some knowledge, if we provided some type of value for y'all.
Right. So let us know in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment, and share it to somebody, man. Just share. We growing, man. We growing every day. Our goal is for the month is at least to get 5 subscribers. At least 5 subscribers. And can y'all do that for me? Show a brother some love. Yeah,
because we're thankful for everyone that's currently here right now. Yeah, and then each new addition to the team, welcome, and we enjoy you being here, and hopefully you use this content to help better your future.
All right, now, and all the links will be in the description below where to follow the channel on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, even YouTube and Instagram. So just check the links in the description And thank you until next time. Peace.